Oh.
Exciting.
Okay.
Yep. Ren has informed us we have the seating set. You can see down there.
How was this composed? The top 4 veto everything else? Okay, that makes sense. Cool. So we have Splash Gold left over. Splash Gold Expert 16. Idola Challenge.
Ooh, okay.
17. And B Expert 17. So 17 MA check and B Idola foot speed check.
And heavy stamina requirements too.
Yeah, and then Splash Gold, kind of a knowledge check 16 actually, which I honestly respect that being in the draw. For seeding.
Oh, yeah. Ren has been collecting info on precisely who has vetoed what. So, expect that sometime soon, once that info. Oh yeah, excellent. Sure. So I helped somebody like quickly reconfigure the drive to make it think it was a cabinet so we could stuff it in and just connect it via USB and get everything working in time.
I remember I think I went to like a Robinson Mall cab and like I tried playing on the cab there and it just wouldn't work. I think we're getting into our first set of pool play, or excuse me, not pool play, our first bracket seeding sets.
Yeah. Got BlueBuster on P1, Vivian, local favorite, and Paragon of Footspeed on P2.
Yeah.
You know, Splash Gold is not so demanding on foot speed, but it's going to come super in handy for Idola.
Right. I mean, you still have 150 BPM. Well, effectively 150 BPMs. I mean, it's technically 300, but like effectively 150 BPM streams.
Wow. Look at all those layers. This is an incredibly shiny song select.
I mean, that would also have been a good contender for the karaoke portion.
Oh, you're right. All right, so here we got a fairly intimidating 5 perfect PFC on BlueBuster's side. Looks like Viv may have like 2 greats. You know, she's fantastic with MA, but it's hard to tell. Like, this is probably the sort of chart that you don't play a lot unless you're going for 16s as a category.
Yeah.
Getting some very loud and crispy ghost steps to make sure they hit those 16s correctly. You'll see here there's a bunch of little crossovers in the intro that are very hard to cheat. They're doing a great job of keeping up with those. But it's easy to get tripped up if you don't know what you're doing coming into this chart. Very nice. This wonderful crisp execution going in and out of these little slow down half speed sections. Alright, and rest.
Wow.
Take a little break.
Very, very even going into the freeze.
Yeah, that is impressive. We always love to see single-digit EX difference.
I'm just now noticing that both Blue and Viv have like fake artist t-shirts. Linkin Bark and then Link 182.
Oh, that's beautiful. You're right. Did they plan this?
I wonder if they did.
It's one of the little underrated joys of tournaments is getting to see the shirt choices.
Yeah.
All right. Getting back into the spicy stuff. Now remember those distracting freeze arrows we told you about. Those will be coming up very shortly. I don't expect they'll have any trouble with it, but let's see. Anything can happen in a day like this. Oh, what beautiful crisp squeaking. Oh, nicely done. Yeah. Looks like Vivian just got tripped up a little bit on the ending there. I couldn't tell if it was just form or actually like
execution.
Distraction.
I mean, the ending is also just very hard to execute, even if you do know it.
Yeah.
Elliot putting up a -21 from that.
Yeah.
18 and 1.
Like, both of them have fantastic MA on this. Like, I would love to go home with 30 perfects on Splash Gold, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even Viv's like 23 and change is remarkable.
Absolutely.
Like that's almost a AAA and a Life 4 at that. Like this chart's hard to to Life 4 just on command.
Yeah. Were you on the mic for the last set of rounds? Was Vivian playing at all in those?
No.
Okay, yeah, so this is also like doing it cold.
Yeah, yeah, actually, yeah. This is effectively, although I think she played with Dunk though.
Oh yeah, a little bit on the karaoke.
You know,
yeah.
almost cold. Almost cold.
Yeah.
Idola challenge.
You know, one song makes a big difference, but you still got to deal with that tournament setting, like this highly artificial, go up and play something really hard on almost no notice.
Yeah. We get into our next seed song, Idola challenge.
Yeah.
I think they've practiced some of the chart.
If memory serves, this is about as much of a break as you get.
Oh yeah, it absolutely is. Calm before the storm.
Yeah. Like, those jump 16th first jump patterns are so brutal.
Yeah.
Like, you know, those patterns where you have just the same arrows and you're hitting 16ths over and over, those are easier than they look because you don't have to actually move that much. The step jump patterns are so much harder than they look.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Going through the midsection. This is a little but not a lot calmer. That's a bunch of 8s, some step jumps, a lot of tricky patterning. Yeah, I think Vivian is just missing some of these from just trying to conserve stamina so hard, staying so close to the center.
Yeah.
Her form is also ruthlessly optimized for ITG stamina, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And these pads are great, but they are not like quite flush modded.
Yeah.
Wow. It's almost visual overload just watching these two score on this chart. Oh, this beautiful twisty triplet section too. Nicely executed on BlueBuster's side.
Oh, just barely missing out on the PFC for Elliot.
This
Gets
guy.
busted by a blue.
Oh, yeah. Fine. You can have that one.
But still really impressive. 36 and 1? 39. Wow.
Nice.
Where is this? What? Ah, yeah, that is a nice EX number 2, by the way.
Yeah. Like, Vivian is no slouch on that either. Like, this is such a draining chart. It is probably a good call to just try and pull back a little bit here if it means being able to push further in the bracket proper.
Yeah. I'm going to go hop off and let Kim back on the mic now that she has finished with her sub. So I'm going to take the opportunity to get some coffee in me and get ready for final bracket. And yeah, guys, stay tuned and enjoy Kim coming back.
All right. Thanks, Pat. Pleasure talking with you. All right, we got B here, and Kim, welcome.
Hello. I am back, chat.
Yeah.
I hope that Hatball and Vid have been treating you well. Also, please correct me on how you say your name.
Oh,
Is it Vid?
That's a surprisingly big question. Vid works.
Vid
We'll
works.
go with
okay,
that.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Let's
That's
talk
right, as
about
long
the
as I have
match.
the correct pronunciation.
Yeah,
All
no,
right.
that works.
So what has been going on so far in top 8? Looks like we just got started.
Yeah, so we have just our first match for top 8 seeding, BlueBuster and Vivian. BlueBuster barely missed a PFC on Idola
Oh, I did hear the
right at the ending.
the pet ball blue busting comment. So.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. So here, we talked a little bit about these charts, but you know what to expect here. Like, the expert it's a 17, but it's a fairly straightforward 17 in terms, like, it doesn't demand a ton in terms of execution except for this drill coming up.
Yes, this is kind of the defining feature of the song. But otherwise, with just level caliber players that we are at this point, I mean, this song is a cakewalk for them.
Yep. 12EX lead on BlueBuster going into the drill. It'll be fascinating to see if they come out with any major change. Like, both of them looking so solid.
Absolutely, they are so dialed in. It's crazy seeing that marvelous attack from both of them through that drill.
Yeah, I don't think that lead changed at all. BlueBuster's not giving up any ground.
No, not at all.
All right, got this ending. A bit more crossy, a little more demanding in terms of form, but
Otherwise, very smooth form from both players.
And finishing strong. Wow.
Yeah, who's going to take that by 20 yachts?
And
Wow.
wow. That's absurd.
Just an 11 perfect PFC and B.
Yeah.
Third song of the day.
Again, like, Vivian is absolutely putting up serious numbers too. Like, 23 perfects on any 17 is a celebration.
Absolutely. It's so insane once we get to like this level of any tournament. Like, we've already had such high level play to begin with, and it's almost incomprehensible to see how much higher level play can be. It's like everyone is just so good.
Yeah, it's wild because, you play a certain level, you get to a certain skill, and you think, wow, it's going to be really hard to move on from here. And then seeing folks go up there and just rip stuff that you're barely getting by on is inspiring, intimidating, and just an awe to watch in general.
That's what's so exciting too about these tournament formats. I'm glad a lot of tournaments have started to incorporate in the waterfall formats, because it really lets you see players compete against one another of similar skill levels. I know we've talked about this a bunch, but it's so exciting to watch meaningful matches. I don't care what skill level you are, playing against somebody that is in your wheelhouse is fun and exciting for everybody. It's fun for you, it's fun for the competitors. Like, it's just all around a great format for a game like this where you have such a wide variety of skill levels.
Absolutely. I was singing its praises yesterday when we were talking about that, because we had this fascinating pool of, like, 2 very strong MA contenders and 2 very strong uppers stamina pushers. And seeing the way those interplay with the card draws is endlessly fascinating.
Absolutely. So you really start to see players' strengths and weaknesses too come out in these card draws. Anything can come up, and you better be ready for it.
Yeah, and getting, 3 guaranteed close matches is such a great motivator for doing tournaments and events like this.
Definitely.
As if the company and the scene weren't enough.
Right. All right, so it looks like we got Dunk and PACROB facing off against each other. Looks like Dunk sporting the Team Heron shirts. I'm sure I'm seeing some love for him in the chat.
An incredibly shiny song select.
Yeah. Yeah, Splash Gold, looking at Dunk's scores, he certainly has quite a few splashes of gold over there across the difficulties.
Yeah, that's formidable. He's put in an incredible amount of work.
Absolutely.
Like, even just thinking about how many charts there are in the 10s or 11s, like, that's
Right.
almost a bigger ask than PFCing a whole bunch of 14s. Like, getting through 300 or whatever.
That's what's crazy to me about some of these players, that, obviously they have the skill at the top of the top difficulty levels, but then you see their MA and their just the mental fortitude it takes to get through all these lower level charts and just like work on MFCs and like MA. That's a whole nother ball game.
Yeah. Speaking of MA, we see what looked like a 12 perfect PFC on Rob's side versus a 40-something on Dunk's, but as mentioned, Ace 2-0 is an older version. We have that big gap of data from newer players on newer versions, so this could be really anyone's game.
But sub 20 perfect PFC on Splash Gold is pretty formidable. This song is pretty tough for a 16, has a lot of steps in it too.
Yeah, and I was talking with Pat Ball just a bit ago. The ending is also nothing to slouch at because it's not so much physically demanding as it is the freeze arrows are this fascinating little bit of meta. Like, they tend to trick your brain into thinking, oh, I have to do something different, and completely throws you off your game if you're not ready for doing the crosses and ignoring the freezes completely.
Absolutely. Kind of a tricky little thing that I know Paranoia Respect was kind of one of the earlier charts to have that freeze tech that throws you off just a little bit because you don't really need to do anything different, but it definitely messes with you mentally if you're not ready for it.
Yeah, I fully expect both players will be fine with that, but we did see what looked like might have been just a little bit of beef with it at the end of the last group, so
sure,
it could happen.
Definitely.
Yeah, ultimately that's why we play these matches. We know how people can do on their best day, but it's exciting to see what they can do here and now under these constraints.
Exactly. Yeah, it's always very exciting seeing people pull off PBs and even things in the same wheelhouse as their PB in tournament settings, because these are not your ideal scenarios. You're most likely not on your home machine, you're not in your ideal circumstances, so being able to perform under less than ideal conditions really speaks to the level of player you are, that you're able to adapt. But yeah, this part's a little tricky here. We're going to have those freeze arrows that I talked about a little earlier. Doesn't seem like either one of them have a single problem with that. Dunk picked up a couple goods there at the end, though.
Beautiful execution on the crosses at the end, though.
Absolutely. PACROB just about tying his PB score. That's incredible.
Wow. Good job. Again, it's just, it's almost overwhelming.
It is.
Wow, we love to see it.
All right, so what do we got next? I keep looking up at the screen behind me as if that's a different screen
Idola
than the one in front of me. I'm so used to looking for like the images of the jackets that I didn't even like read the text that was in front of me.
No, we're doing Idola.
Okay.
Yeah, I gave a take a little bit ago, but I'm curious to hear your take on this chart.
It's a rough 17.
Oh yeah.
Like it. I know there's only one level of difficulty between 17 and 16, but I feel like the jump between expert and challenge chart for Idola is huge.
Yeah.
You're kind of going from almost an intro level 16, I'd say. You know, it's an easier set of 16s to probably a mid to late level 17. So it's quite a jump in difficulty.
Yeah. One thing I want to add that I love about this chart is that it is brutal. It is a stamina drainer. It demands a lot of movement. There is very little way to cheat on this chart.
Right.
You cannot get around it. You have to go through.
I feel like it's a longer song, too. I'm not sure of the actual length of the music itself, but it feels like it's pretty long. And I don't know if it's just because I feel like I want to die by the time it gets to the end of it, but
yeah,
definitely feels like it's asking a lot of you.
Yeah, in that sense, it's a great indicator of where their skill sets are, like not just MA, but stability on all this fast movement, switching between steps and jumps.
Yeah, these little triple sections are really hard to nail, and they are just doing a phenomenal job of it.
Yeah, making it almost look effortless.
Which, let's be real, chat, this is not effortless.
This is effortful,
yes.
overflowing, actually.
They buffer overflowed their effort.
2EX there. That's the difference.
Okay, this part, I guess you could consider this your break in the song.
As close as you get.
Right.
Yeah, a little bit of a breather before we go back into just 16ths everywhere.
Yes. But both of them still coming onto that gold combo. Really close between the two of them. Only 3EX separating the two right now. And even these parts with the jumps into those 12 notes, and then this section, it's very tricky to keep dialed in.
Yeah, Dunk gave up a tiny bit of ground there. PACROB is just completely on point with those crosses, and wow.
Yeah, definitely a technical chart, not one that you can just stamina your way through, which you do need the stamina to get through it, but you also really need the tech to accomplish this.
Yeah, stamina is necessary but not sufficient.
Correct.
As they say.
Still very close. They're only 5EX apart.
All right, where's it gonna land? Beautiful.
Oh, and Dunk's actually
Wow.
gonna end up on top with that one. 5EX over PACROB.
That's a great job. Really not over till it's over. And
Right.
when the 16th runs are at the end, it's not over for
No,
a while.
Not at all. Really close between the two of them. Look at that MA. Actually, identical MA. It really came down to the distribution between perfects and then PACROB getting a miss and a couple goods there. All right, back to B.
Yep. You know it. You love it. Unless you've tuned in the last 8 minutes or so.
B's one of those songs that I feel like most people would get annoyed with hearing, but it's grown on me so much. I actually really enjoyed this song.
Yeah. It's one of those examples, I think, of like crosses the line twice, where there are annoying songs, and then there are songs that are so annoying that it becomes funnier to appreciate the annoyance.
Yeah. And when it has such a fun gimmick, if you want to call the challenge chart fun, I mean, I guess that's very subjective, but it has something very unique about it that, kind of puts this song on the map for a lot of people. The 18 having their infamous down arrow part, and then the 17 being a pretty good intro-level 17 for a lot of people to either aim for a PFC or, whatever it is you're aiming for, whether it's a full combo, AAA. So it kind of has that hallmark status, which makes the song very popular for people.
I think it's also fun to note that the challenge chart was released after this original set of charts. And when this came out, a bunch of people made the joke, wouldn't it be funny if they made a challenge chart where the drill in the middle is just a foot switch?
Right.
And then it happened.
And surprise!
This is what you wanted.
I do imagine Konami just seeing all those messages and just snickering in the back room, haha, they only knew.
Yeah. Depending on who you ask, foot switches have officially been tech for a while, but after B, it's undeniable.
Right.
I'm sure someone has tried to play it as Jax.
I would like to see that, actually.
I'd
like
love
a
to see
high-level
someone combo
play.
it. Yeah.
That'd be really interesting. New side tournament. Combo through the Jack and DCSP with 1 foot. Yeah, you see both these players having very little problem with this song.
Yep, it is a 17, but it's still very introductory. It's not nearly as demanding as Idola is on tech or stamina.
Yeah, very comfy speed to kind of hit those drills at. Nothing too complex in terms of moving around the pad.
All right, here's the infamous drill. Nay, foot switch.
Are so dialed in. I saw maybe 3 perfects during that whole span of time.
Yeah, it looks like they're about neck and neck. With the layout here, we're kind of just looking back and forth very quickly.
A little hard to see, but since we're still in seeding, it's not, they're not quite head to head.
Yep, Dunk was up by 1 at that break.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like PACROB picked up a miss at one point. Dunk still got the gold combo going on, though.
Yeah, I think PACROB nailed that drill, but Dunk came back just on consistency after that. Oh, beautiful.
Okay. That's a very close match between these two players. They were within just 5 EX across all 3 songs.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did MFC the drill, PACROB.
PACROB?
Yeah.
That's insane. I mean, 20 and a miss.
We mostly love to see it.
All right, so you can see cumulative EX up on the board there for seeding purposes.